Hello and welcome to Gaming Gain. My name is Muzz and welcome to the Gaming Gain Awards for video games. I don't know. I don't have a good title for this video yet. I guess I'm just going to talk about the games that I played in the video games because we are still a video game channel, believe it or not. I played in 2024 and I kind of want to highlight. You've seen maybe that I've highlighted a few that I'm going to just kind of touch on in this video, but there's a few that I haven't that I really want to give a mention and share just how good I think they are, and hopefully if you've not had a go at them, you can give them a go, because I think all the games that I've kind of played this year, while it's been minimal, it's been quality over quantity, just with the nature of my year and how busy it's been. Starting off with one of my most anticipated games of the year, and it lived up to the hype, and that was Helldivers 2. I adored the first Helldivers. Just had something in it, just got its claws in me and just really grabbed me with how challenging the gameplay was, but how fun it was at the same time. And when I saw the initial trailer, I was blown away, because obviously the first one, it was top down, it was a bit lower budget. The second one, I was a wee bit nervous that they went a wee bit too AAA, but they kept the core essence of what Helldivers is about, and it's challenging gameplay mixed with a bit of chaos. In fact, not even a bit, a lot of chaos, and fun missions that you can get in, get out, and play a couple in an hour. And really had a good reward scheme going on as well, and the ongoing battle against the enemies, I think, is something that other games should maybe look at. I know it's a live service, it's one of the very few live service games that really taken off this year, and I just think everything that they have done, taken from the first game, and they have improved it in the second game. The weapon feedback, the enemies, just the absolute mayhem of the games that you get into. The planets are varied. Like, it's a complete upgrade from the first one, and I think it deserves to be shouted out, especially since Sony is doing all that they can to make this game like, they're just sabotaging it with between the PSN accounts and all that. But thankfully, it still seems to have a healthy community, which is good. And with the introduction of the third enemy type, I forget their names, but that is hopefully given some new life to the game, and hopefully it continues to flourish, because it is it's just a damn good time. Helldivers 2. Next is the game in the background, and some of these games are going to be games that have come out before 2024, and I just never got around to it. But I've heard about Vampire Survivor I don't know if it's been out for a few years, but I've heard about it for a long time, and it was on sale on the store. Got into it, and yet it's everything I thought it would be. It's fun. It's just a game that it's hard to kind of, it's the classic one more shot. Like, you have a good run and then you're like, nah, I can do better. And the introduction of like new characters, and you get new power ups, and it just got its claws in me for a certain point throughout the year. I just kept wanting to go back and play it, and with the variety of different characters you can get, different power ups, I had a real fun time finding out which power ups like married together so that you could create an even more impressive attack, was something that I really found engaging. And I think the levels don't really change much, it's just the enemies, but it's just a game that really, I can see why it's so popular, because it's just gets its hooks in you. The developers know that they're keeping things with the DLC and all that, they're keeping it quite cheap, getting people reinvested, and there's a lot of content in this game. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of new stuff, like the Among Us version I played. There's a Castlevania one that I've yet to get to. So definitely, it's a cheap game. It's a fun time. You will definitely get your money's worth with a Vampire Survivor, and I hope you can check it out. Next one is to do with this little thing here. Now, I've I discovered this year that it is hard to get into VR gaming when you're tired, when you've got so much work to do. It's a bit of a thought. It is a bit of a thought, because even a small game, like if you're jumping in there and you just think, oh, I just want to jump in for like 20, 30 minutes, it takes a bit longer than just like, you've got to set it up, you've got to make sure the controllers, and I haven't really done as much VR gaming as what I would have hoped this year. I'm trying to rectify that now by playing Synapse and Behemoth, which are both really good games. But the one that I really enjoyed and completed this year, pardon me, was Resident Evil 4 VR mode. And I played Resident Evil 7 in VR. Terrifying. Resident Evil 4, because I played through it before, wasn't as terrifying. There was still actually some scary moments, even though I knew what was coming up. But the VAR mechanics, VR, you can pick up stuff, the stabbing with the knife. There is some elements of the VR that's not working, like when you kick, it goes into third person, which is a bit daunting and kind of takes you out of the game. But when you're in the heat of battle, when you're when you're pulling out your pistol, you need to reload. You don't quite miss the reload. You whip out another gun. The pumping of the shotgun. It's just, oh, and Resident Evil 4 is a classic game, and to play it through in that perspective, it just gives a whole new. It just gives you a whole new appreciation for the game, appreciation for the action, appreciation for the gunplay, the enemies, and yeah, just a really, really good time in Resident Evil 4, the VR mode. And I'm definitely going to hopefully try and get some more time in the VR in 2025. This next one I'm not going to touch on too much because I've already made a video on it, but Astrobot won Game of the Year. Is it my Game of the Year? I'm looking at the games. I'd probably give it to Helldivers 2, but close second was Astrobot. It's nostalgic for me. It's a platformer, a mascot platformer. The controls are solid. The level designs are unique, and it just takes you back to a time when gaming was fun. It was just fun, and that's all I kind of really need to say about Astrobot. 2 more to go. Dead Space, I got it during Halloween, the remake, and I thought they'd done an excellent job. They really took out some of the elements that I didn't like from the original and improved it. I really grew to like the overall design, the changes that they make. I thought giving Isaac a voice was really important to the story, and I really, really hope that they do Dead Space 2 remake. I hope this lifts the franchise back up and we can see a Dead Space 4, like something new in the Dead Space universe, because that would be fantastic. Because the remake shows that hopefully there is a market, and the Resident Evil games should show that there is a market for survival horror. Like, it's not going to do gangbusters, it's not going to make you so much money, but it's going to make you money. Surely we can get another Dead Space game. And finally, is a game that I didn't think I would. It's a late one. I only bought it a few weeks ago. In fact, not even a few, like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, I see what all the hype is about. And that is Balatro, which is a card roguelike game. It's addicting. I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, recording on my phone. Once I'm done, I may even play a game that I'm talking about. It's basically poker hands that you have to get scores with, and there's upgrades that you can get as you go through your run. You try to beat the score of each level, essentially, and it just builds and builds to where you can have some crazy combinations. And initially I was like, oh, I know what to do now, but no run is the same, and I feel like that's more so than any other roguelike I've played, because it feels like there's a few cards that I've seen once, and I've not seen them again. And there's just so many cards that you can get to upgrade. There's so many different tactics you can use. You'll find yourself really focusing on like the face cards, the kings, queens, and jacks in one run. Then the next run, you're focusing on 3 of a kind. The next run you need to, you're sorting flushes out. It just changes all the time, and no run is the same. And yep, it is definitely deserving to be talked about in my 2024 list. And that is, that is my listing of gamings. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. That is my list of games for 2024 that I think deserve a wee mention. Again, didn't play all of them in 2024, but I definitely. No, what I meant to say was they're not all games from 2024, but I played them all in 2024, so that's why I want to discuss them. And definitely, if you haven't played them, you should definitely check them out, because they are just, I think, all a really, really good time. And going into 2025, I definitely want to do some more gaming. I think I need to try and dedicate a day to it where I just focus on it. And definitely want to do some more VR gaming, because I think it is just fantastic. But I have so many games that I just want to play, but time is not on my side anymore. I mean, with the holidays, yep, I've been trying to game as much as I can, but I found myself being a lot more social. Anyway, you don't want to hear that. You just want me to shut up, because I've done talking about the games that you want to hear about. So with all that being said, all that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.